Danny Segura for MMAJunkie.com. I'm joined by UFC bantamweight and featherweight, I guess, Marlon Chito Vera, who recently fought at UFC on ESPN 8, losing a unanimous decision to Song Yadong. Chito, first of all, how you doing? It looks like you're in good spirits and the weather's quite nice over there.
Pretty nice here in Cali. As my people around me know, I came back from the fight, took a Sunday off, Monday off, and since then I've been surfing every day, twice a day. And then I went back to the gym yesterday. So today I'm going to the gym again in a little bit. So I'm back in the horse, you know.
Yeah. Let's talk about the fight. I want to center this mostly around what's next for you, but I do want to talk about the fight. It was a controversial fight. It was a close fight. It was a fun fight, one fight of the night. But a lot of people thought you did enough to get the victory. Have you gotten a chance to look back on the fight? And do you feel any different now looking at the fight? Because you were pretty vocal on social media, basically saying that you thought you had done enough.
I won the fight 100%. As you can see, when the fight ends, I was celebrating. My corner were celebrating. The Song Yadong were in the ground like disappointed. His team were quiet, So it's body language is a lot in the sport. It's not like sometimes we go to the decision, both guys raise the hand, and then the other guy won and the other guy applause. This wasn't the case. I end the fight winning. I I started the fight hard, so there's not too much I can control about it. The only thing I can control is just stay in the horse, stay grinding, stay working. Um, Yesterday I went for a hard bike ride, and I feel my lungs, my body feels healthy. Couple bruises, but they're most likely gone. I'm back in the gym, so I just feel like the only bad part about it is like a win will always be the best scenario. You go ahead, I go ahead in the rankings. It's easy for us for bigger and better things, but even if it's even if I got screwed in the decision, it's hard to be asking for a lot of things that I would like to ask, like a big fight or things like that. So the only thing I can do right now is staying in shape, staying grinding, ask my coaches in what I can get better, and going from there.
Yeah. And did you speak to any of the UFC officials following the fight? Because sometimes they go up to a fighter, especially if it's a controversial. Maybe they weigh in on what they thought. How the fight should have been judged. Did anybody reach out to you?
I had Dana and Sean coming to the locker room. I was pretty upset. I lost my head 100% because it's not just about winning the fight and being cool about it for a couple of days. It was more about the whole time I was fighting. I was thinking in the dreams I have, in how big I want to go in this division, things like that. But also I was thinking in the really things that matters, like my kids, my family. I was thinking on the house I bought. I was fighting in good spirits. I was happy, and then when these things happens, it's like you get crushed. It's not even in your hands. It's just like those guys just decide they don't want to give me the win, and I have to go with a half check back to my house and just tell my family like I can do shit about it, and that's what upset me the most. And I let them know how I feel. I tell them what I expect from them, and both sides told me I won the fight. They told me like, yeah, you won the fight, but we can do nothing about it. And I understand, the judges are not put by the UFC, so this is not against the UFC, but I
Yeah.
hope they change in the future.
Yeah. Is it somewhat of a relieving situation, like knowing that the UFC president is telling you, like, hey, look, I thought you won the fight? Because if that's the case, it almost feels like, I mean, yes, it's a loss, but maybe not necessarily a step back, right?
I do feel like this is gonna put me. It's gonna throw me ahead no matter what, because it wasn't just like two persons telling me I won the fight. It was the entire world telling me I won the fight. A lot of, most likely every single UFC fighter on social media that put a comment say I won the fight. So Sean Shelby told me, yeah, we thought you won that fight, and then Dana told me like, look, I have to take a phone call. I don't watch the entire fight, but everybody's telling me you won the fight. So like, I'm like, well, I'm guessing they're gonna give me a fight that is ahead, like if I wouldn't won the fight, because you know Aldo lost to Moraes, and but he won the fight in everybody's eyes. He put
Hmm.
the pressure. He walking forward. He did everything he could to win the fight, and then the judges give it to Moraes, who get the title shot. So
Right.
I'm I'm feeling I'm in that position. I'm not saying I'm gonna get a title shot, but I'm saying like I'm in the position that I'm gonna receive an opportunity as a winner in this fight.
Yeah. And now I want to follow up on that and ask you about your future. But before that, there was a lot of sort of little things that were attached to this fight. For one, your opponent changed several times, right? And then when it was about to happen, it looked like you were going to get Faber, but then not really. Also, this was a weight class above at featherweight. Apparently, Song Yadong, couldn't make 135 in short notice, so that's why it came down to 145. There was sort of a lot of issues going on in the lead up to the fight. Do you regret taking the fight in any way, because it did snap a five-fight losing streak for you, which was quite a big thing in the bantamweight division?
I don't regret anything at all. I'm happy with the decision I took. I'm happy with the performance I put. I won the fight, and you know I can that just show about me with all the circumstances against myself, with all the bullshit going up and down, like, oh, he have a visa, oh, he don't have a visa, oh, he have a visa. Before that, like 3 4 opponents change, cancellation because of coronavirus, cancellations because all the politics going around, whatever, and all that thing happened against me. I'm still making weight. I was ready to make 35. My opponent were eating way too much fried chicken because he's irresponsible, whatever. At the end of the day, I just want to fight. I tell them 155. Even if he's a 35 and can make not even 45, 155, even healthier. Why not? But I make my part. I train. I keep my mind right. So that just show about me. Like, if the worst times can break me, just in mind when things go back to normal, I'm gonna fuck them all up.
Yeah. And as far as your future goes, I mean, it seemed when that Faber fight was sort of teased, a lot of people liked that idea. But then we also saw you took to Twitter somewhat recently, I think yesterday or the day before, kind of questioning, what is Dominick Cruz up to? So, in your mind, when would you like to return, and what fights or what type of opponents interest you in a return?
Well, in a return, I would love to do the super short notice, like fighting this weekend. I would love to just jump on it. Like, doesn't matter who is, doesn't matter the weight class. Just just do it for the fun times because of Corona times. But talking about like professional, like how I want to keep my career going, I would like to fight. In the next 60 days. Um, Going back to the gym, I'm feeling good. My lungs are good, and talking about, I will go about first with the favorite thing. He jumped in the scale. He make all this drama for the Instagram that he was ready to fight. My team told him he's not fighting. We pushed for the Song Yadong fight just because it was the harder fight, the kid with the hype. So we weren't ready for that. So that's why we pushed for that fight, and we get it. uh, he jumped to the scale just because he was like, oh, just in case something happened, this is a replacement. Yeah, bullshit. Nobody told him he's gonna fight, so he just did it for the gram, as I told you before. But if you wanna do it, if you wanna man up and actually jump in a real fight, I'm down for that. And then about Cruz, yeah, I was looking at the rankings, and I'm 15, he's 11, so I'm like, position wise, we're right there. He's coming off a loss. I'm coming off a loss. So I'm like, I feel it's the perfect time to make the fight happen if, you know, he want to fight or whatever. I don't know what his plans are. He didn't reply to me. But I hope the UFC call him and ask him if he want to fight me. I would love that fight too. Why not?
Yeah. Yeah, so it seems at this point, like, you want the big names. You want the guys in the top 10, right?
I want the big names, but that doesn't mean I don't want to fight the other guys, like the younger guys. Like, I'm not chasing the old guys. I'm just I'm just seeing what makes sense, and I do it.
Mhm.
If there's like, I don't know, like Starling, Peter Yan, I don't know, like the toughest fights in paper. Why not? I want those fights too, but I'm just seeing like what's available right now. Like, most
Right.
like the whole top 15s it's it's booked. So I'm like, he's not booked. Aldi's not booked, but I don't know. He's in the US, so I'm guessing it's easier to make that fight happen. So why not?
Right. Yeah. It seems, the international fighters are going to have a tough time getting fights, at least for the time being, unless Fight Island gets, inaugurated, because, they just can't come to the US. So
Right.
we'll see. We'll see what happens there. And as far as the division right now, it's in an interesting spot because Henry Cejudo said he was going to retire. A lot of people were questioning, is he? He actually retires. Now the belt is vacated officially. What do you think should happen at the top of the division? It looks like a lot of people didn't believe that Cejudo was going to walk away, but he actually did. Who do you think should fight for that vacant belt?
Well, I think if they're making Shanghai and Starling, make that for the title right away. But if they haven't announced that yet, maybe they don't want to do that. I don't know. But that's the only big fight, and the two guys doing coming of good wins and stuff like that. So I'm guessing those guys, besides Peter Yan, deserve that opportunity. But Peter is in Russia, so
Yeah.
good luck trying to come here. Uh, I feel that's the fight to make because the other fight that is made is Asun Saro and Garvin, and both guys are coming off losses. Garvin's been stopped a lot lately, so he's not even in the conversation.
Yeah. Do you think Henry Cejudo walking away is a good thing or a bad thing for bantamweights? Because in a way, he's obviously one of the bigger names in the lighter weight classes, so he offers that. But at the same time, it seemed when he was defending the belt, he was more interested in name value rather than taking on the next top contender.
Probably he just won a bigger check. Probably he's just doing all this for just to cause some attention, and maybe he's back, or maybe he just want to retire and get away. I think either way, there's a lot of guys coming up to the division. There's a lot of new blood. There's a lot of like veterans that are doing well. So I think the division is pretty fun right now. There's a lot of good fights in the make. So I think with or without him, the division is gonna keep growing and going. And then I feel that it's gonna be fun. It's gonna be fun times ahead. Like all the top 15, all the way to the number one is a lot of good fights to make.
Yeah, for sure. Certainly 135 is one of the more fun divisions right now in the UFC. Lastly, for me, you talked about in the lead up towards the fight how you wanted to put on a good performance and not only for yourself but also for the people back home in your home country of Ecuador, since they're going through a tough time right now with the coronavirus. And I know a lot of people reached out to you in Spanish. I know you were tweeting in Spanish, and a lot of people were not only saying that they thought that you won the fight, but also just thanking you for the performance and all that. Can you just talk about the support that you've gotten from your fellow Ecuadorians and sort of the joy that you brought to them during these times?
It was crazy the amount of support, the support and love I get from them. Like I just seeing my name being trending topic like non-stop for a couple of days. I was like, that showed me all the respect and love they give to me, and that's why I fight so fucking hard. Just they can have that happiness, like when the soccer team goes to the World Cup, things like that. They know how hard I work. They know how I wanna like let everybody know about my country, and it's amazing. Like it was way too many messages. I was like, I couldn't appreciate them more. Like it's something amazing.
All right, Chito. Well, I'm not going to steal any more from your time because I know you got to surf and you got a few other things in mind. But I appreciate the time, man. Best of luck, getting a fight. Hopefully, we see you soon. Right back in the octagon.
Awesome, bro. I appreciate you guys for coming and have some a fun conversation. Thank you so much.